All right, guys. Here on the BJJ Talk Show again, JP. Today we have a very special, and for the first time we have um, a very important face in the Jiu-Jitsu industry right now. Seth Daniels. He's the CEO of Fight to Win. Fight to Win is becoming probably the most exciting show to watch. It's a pretty way pretty good the way they do and the setup they work and the way they pay the athletes. It's pretty amazing what their guys doing. So we're gonna definitely ask so many questions about the event, about his personal jiu-jitsu career. And I just want to give a shout out to Break Grip, guys, our sponsor on the show. Thank you, Break Grip. Guys, if you want to check it out, go to breakgrip.com and support the show. All right. Thank you guys so much. Seth, thanks so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Oh, no problem. Where you located, bro?
I'm sorry?
Where are you located at?
I'm located in Maryland.
How is Maryland right now with all the restrictions and all that stuff? Do y'all have schools open yet, or
not yet?
Everything's really locked down in Maryland still, huh?
Yeah, we're still waiting for the reopening. The governor just released reopening pools. But we're phase 2.
Okay.
So we're still waiting. We're on phase 1 here, and we're phase 2 to reopen.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting on the governor. So, and speaking of that, so like now you're running most of your shows for now is in Texas, right?
Right. Yeah.
So did you have any support from the government to start running the show?
So basically, Texas is in phase 3. Texas is the first state that was in phase 2. Now they're the first state in phase 3, and they go into phase 4 on June 1st. So I was out here in Texas. I had a show scheduled for March 14th. So I left all my shit in Dallas, and then we just left it here. And then we were like, well, if we get started again, let's just get started in Dallas. And then after the first show, I just made a deal with the venue just to rent it out for a couple of months, because it doesn't really make any sense to move around right now if we can't sell tickets.
True.
Like, it's easier on me and my staff just to set up all of our stuff, bring people into Dallas than it is to travel all over the country, then deal with different restrictions in every city, in every state, different governor, different mayor. Like the one out here is pretty chill. And so we've been able to get things going. We're still not doing live audience. It's just fighters and one coach, and that's all we're doing at this time.
Got it. So, and are you guys generate revenue from streaming? Right? Is that how?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only way that we generate revenue right now is streaming and sponsorships. And I'm lucky to have a really good partnership and business relations with Flow Grappling, and they're taking care of a lot of the stuff right now. And the majority of my staff is working for free. And the ones that aren't are working for about 40% of what they normally get paid. And we had to scale our staff back from 14 to 6. So, we've had to make cuts everywhere in order to make things work, to make it financially feasible for us and Flow Grappling, But getting out of this, we're not making any money, but my goal is every week not lose anything. And if I'm just sitting at home on my fat ass, I'm probably dropping $4,000 a week without any money coming in, with bills and all that shit we have every fucking month. So it's just I'd rather work and make nothing than sit around and lose money. So here we are.
And when you say not making, but you guys still support the community, right? Like when you put the show, when you pay the athletes, you're still also entertain us, right? I think that's it's a great incentivize, for everyone. And I really hope you guys are having extra support during this time, because it's a lot of work and there's not much rewards right now, right? You're pretty much giving back, pretty much what you guys doing.
Well, here's the thing is right now, to be honest, we're not paying the undercard. We can't. There's no money. So without ticket sales, without ticket revenue, there's no money to pay the local and regional athletes, right? So it's like I said in previous interviews, is everybody has to sacrifice a little bit at this time, right? So the undercard fighters, I think they average each fighter probably makes around 205. I don't know why I'm saying probably. I know my numbers. That each fighter on average makes around $200 when they compete on the show, and I'm talking undercard, right? Local
Yeah.
purple belts, local brown belts, local black belts. That's like the average all the way through. Obviously, the top of the card is completely different story when you're talking about, Cyborg, Gordon Ryan, Rafael Lovato Jr. Those guys aren't fighting for free. And I know like some bitches on Reddit are posting, fight to win's not painting their athletes, blah, 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 but it's like those main guys that have like the main three fights, the Dante Leons, Johnny Thomas, the world champions, the ADCC champions, they're getting paid. They're just fighting for reduced amounts.
No,
So,
no, true.
but we're still putting, I'd say each week I'm still putting on average around $20,000 back into the jiu-jitsu community's pockets.
Mhm.
So that's still better than nothing, which is what it's been for the past 2 months. So, gradually every week, it's a struggle, to be honest with you, because every week we have to look at how we did the week prior, what we're projecting for the next week, how much I'm willing to lose to put on a show, how much Flo is willing to lose to put on a show, just to keep positivity and jiu-jitsu in the community. Because I feel like without it, there was so much negativity, at least on my feed, on Facebook and Instagram,
For
just,
sure.
constantly people bitching about the government and coronavirus and all that. And I feel like at least in my feed, it's been a little bit more positive that we have stuff going on. Obviously everybody's feed's a little bit different now when it can, concerning what happened with George Floyd and the police officer. So, it's been a distraction for a lot of people, I think. But, it's just really about showing every show I do. I'm trying to take one baby step back to what it was,
Mhm.
right? I'm not rushing to sell tickets. I'm not rushing to have 30 fights on each card. I'm just trying to make the right decisions and lead the way for other promotions to make right decisions moving forward as well, in order to keep the athletes as safe as possible, keep the crowd as safe as possible, but continue to keep the sport going.
No, yeah, I think that's amazing what you guys are doing. Like I remember back when I was blue, purple, I would pay to fight those events. I would put a good money to fight to just be on the stage, right? And still today, like athletes still paying to compete, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're,
I make a lot of jokes about it because I'm very anti IBJJF, and the reason I'm anti IBJJF isn't a matter of paying registration to compete in their events, buying their stupid fucking membership card, whatever you want to do. It's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want. My problem is that they give back so very little for how much that they take in,
Mhm.
right? And then you look at if you look at the beginning of the professional jiu-jitsu scene, and I'm not saying that it was started by Meta Morris, because I know there was a lot of events that happened prior to that, but probably the best thing to ever happen to the jiu-jitsu community was Meta Morris not paying people. Because when Meta Morris fucked over Eddie Bravo with the match with was it Hoyler on Meta Morris
Yeah, I remember
3 or 2, and they had Gracie Mag come in. I don't know if you remember this, but they posted a bunch of photos where it looked like Hoyler was winning the match, even though he was in a fucking calf slicer for 20 minutes or whatever.
that.
So when they screwed over Eddie, Eddie created, EBI. And when he created EBI, that's when the real cash prices actually started looking out there and was like, fuck, you can actually make money doing this. So I looked at his model and I didn't want to do the same thing that he was doing because that's just not my style. And I looked at the Meta Morris model and I was like, well, this is just fucking stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So I kind of combined what they were doing and what I was already doing with production with my mixed martial arts shows and with my concerts and shit like that. And then I just fucking figured out, well, I can just go and put these events on and just treat them just like a local MMA show, but with a rock
Mhm.
concert vibe to them. And so then we were able to figure out financially how to be able to do it. But like I said, we started really slow. We started really small,
So I
with
saw you guys had like a open event. I
yeah.
don't know. You guys start that way, right?
No, we started that way. So in 2008, I started doing jiu-jitsu tournaments. My first one, I had 88 people at, and I think about half of them were free. And we were charging $40 to sign up, shitty little medals, shitty little high school, shitty wrestling mats, but concept was pretty much of the tournaments was to try to run an efficient tournament that was priced appropriately. Now, fast forward 12 years later, my tournaments average 12 to 1,500 competitors per tournament, and we still haven't raised our price. I'm still charging them the same thing. So like my thing is I just want to make sure when people do the tournaments that they're getting, their money worth and shit like that. But we only do 4 a year, and we're trying to do more events all over the United States. We were in the process of booking like 20 events all over the country through my wrestling organization, and then this should happen and shut everything down. But I'm still in the process of doing that and trying to get the right person to help me run them because I don't have time for it. So I'm pitching somebody this weekend to do that for me. But she's sitting right over here. But other than that, yeah, we still do the open tournaments only in Colorado. And honestly, like we started with 88. Like I said, we average about 1,200, 1,400 now, which is great. Financially, we do really well in those tournaments, and that money just comes right into Fight to Win Pro and goes right out into the athlete's pocket. So, our whole system is kind of, it goes that way. The more money that comes in, the more money that goes out. So I'm not sitting on like motherfucking DuckTales and taking baths and gold coins and shit. So I think my entire outfit probably cost me like $19 that I'm wearing right now because I think I stole these shorts from Walmart and this is a free T-shirt. And I think the only thing I paid for was this knee brace I'm wearing. I'm just kidding.
No, they're really.
I'm joking. Just to be clear.
That really shows, and you show that people come back, right? Like you showed your reputation, like where, like someone competes at your event, they come back. You know what I mean? Like that really show that you guys care and take care of the athletes.
Well, they don't always. There's a handful of motherfuckers that aren't huge fans. But, for the most part, I always do what I say I'm going to do. And so even if it's not like, like dudes can fight. You can fight. Like, remember when ACB was around? Them Russians?
Yeah. Those guys are putting a lot of money there, right?
Yeah, they did. But where are they now? Right. So it's like ACB, fucking Kasai, any of those ones that you see these huge cash prizes and these guys are going to pay me 5 times. Go get that shit once, have fun. Go get your fucking money. But I'll be here in 6 months when they go out of business and you want somewhere to fight regularly and consistently. That's why if you look at the MMA shows, if you look at, fucking, LFA's been around forever now. It was Legacy before that. King of the Cage.
Yeah.
All
here
those
in Baltimore, Shogun fights. Do you know Shogun?
Shogun's a perfect example. I used to do business with Shogun.
John Rollo.
Yeah. I run the ticketing company that they're with Alliance MMA. So Shogun's a perfect example. It's a solid show. They did events in Florida. They do it in Maryland, predominantly on the East Coast, right? They're not paying motherfuckers $10,000 for an MMA fight. They might be making $500, $1,000, but they're consistent. So it's more about consistency. You want to fight once a month. You want to fight twice a month. We're a great organization for that. You want to make one fight a year. That's not us. You need to go somewhere else because you're just not going to get that huge payday, but you'll get a good one.
But that's the process, right? Like more the industry can pay that, like more people are interested in watching jiu-jitsu, more you guys are going to pay, right? Like I think it's a process, right? Some companies are jumping in and they're doing like crazy cash prize, but they don't last for a while because they don't get the investment back, right?
Well,
like
it's not even a matter of investment. Those motherfuckers are just trying to buy friends. So it's like you see some brand new show pop up and it's like, oh, you're like $100,000 and like that stupid fucking Florida that did that show and didn't pay anybody.
Didn't pay
called Substars Pro or something.
I remember seeing something like that on social media.
I don't even remember the name of it, but it's like they do a show, they have all these huge fights, and I looked at that fight card and I was like, man, none of these motherfuckers are getting paid. There's no way. Like I know the South Florida market, they don't even fucking sell tickets out there. So it's just like you got to attack this business with a business mindset, and I think that's one of the problems that a lot of schools are probably having now because a lot of gym owners are not business people. They're fucking jiu-jitsu athletes that are great at jiu-jitsu and they're probably great instructors and they're probably great at teaching privates. But when it comes to, okay, how am I going to operate in this business world now where people can't touch each other, where this happens, where you have to be socially conscious of this or that, and they're not able to pivot their mind to think, okay, I've got to change. I've got to mold because they were never taught. They were never taught how to run a business. So I think,
and that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like when you see like athletes, they eventually will have to become entrepreneurs.
Look at
That's the
Andre. Do you think
process.
Andre Galval was like how he is now 15 years ago? He
Hmm.
started out as an amazing athlete and then slowly became learning how to run his business. There's very few people that are lucky like Gordon Ryan that get it like that,
Yeah.
you know? That just everything makes sense to them. They have the right people giving them information. They take advice. They figure out their business and they become millionaires.
No,
I
that's
think I think it's really sad when I see a lot of schools that I know the people that run them and are closing, and it's just really insane to me that how you can go out of business after being in business for 10 years and 1 month of being closed down and you're out. Like to me, it's I just don't understand how it happens, and I feel really bad for everybody that it happened to. But I think probably like the lower 30% of schools across the country are all going to wind up closing.
that's pretty sad, right? Like I talk to some people, I know, like it hurts, like or hurts all of us, right? Hurts the whole community when someone go out of the business, right? I don't really take my someone that owns a school close to me as a rival, you know, like more people know about jiu-jitsu, get to know more about jiu-jitsu, more people will have us both, right? Us all. So I think that really hurts the whole industry.
It
I
really
don't.
does, and it's a sad thing to see. And I just saw Rodrigo Mundaruca posted that he's having to close Gracie Poway, and that's a school that I've had a bunch of guys on my show from there. They sell a lot of tickets. They're fucking got good fighters, and they go out of business. Okay, so say half their people wind up joining other gyms, the other half are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're not coming back. And so we're going to see that I think quite a bit over these next couple months. And the thing that I think is the saddest about all of it was that the help was there from the government. A lot of people that complain and want to say, "Oh, I couldn't get this loan, I couldn't get that loan, or this didn't happen, that didn't happen." It didn't happen because you didn't fucking run your business appropriately like you should have. You didn't pay your taxes. You didn't fucking have payroll. You didn't do the shit you were fucking supposed to do. So now
Exactly.
when the opportunity comes for you to be helped, well, guess what, motherfucker? You didn't pay taxes for the past 2 years. So
You
why would the government fucking give
can't
you any
qualify.
money? Because you're not
Exactly.
doing it right. So it's like it's one of those things. It's like if you're gonna do shady shit and you're not gonna
So,
live and run your business appropriately when something like this happens, you're fucked.
so like,
And
that means like you see like people are not a lot of people are not professional into their business yet, right? Like that's why I'm fortunate that I have a partner. He's a very successful entrepreneur. uh, like he's my mentor too. Like he really give me advice. We had a good plan. We studied the area that we are. We're good area. Like a lot of government job. Like a lot of people
yeah,
still
but that's
working.
how it should be. You shouldn't go from being a black belt world champion to a business owner. Okay, you should go and work for a school, work for your professor, do the shitty stuff, the
Yeah,
stuff you don't want to do. Work
learn.
the fucking front desk. Be a fucking janitor. I started out at 24 Fitness. I was a fucking janitor for 2 years, bro. I was a janitor for 2 years. And by the time I was 24, I was the vice president of the whole fucking company, making $400,000 a year at 24 years old, right? But I started at the lowest of the
Yeah.
fucking low and then worked my way up. And I think a lot of people, especially really good athletes, feel that they're entitled because of their name or whatever they've done and accomplished in the sport, that they're entitled to open up a business. And look at me. If you
For
look at
sure.
Gabby Garcia, she's a perfect example. Gabby Garcia just opened her first school. She has 9 world titles and 4 ADCC titles. She could have opened a school whenever the fuck she wanted in the past 10.
Hmm.
And she just opened it now because she feels like she's mentally ready to run the business now. She opened up with 500 students. 500 students before she opened the doors in pre-sale, right? That's fucking
That's great.
smart because she fucking took her time. She did everything appropriately. She learned what to do, and now she's running a business. And I just feel like a lot of people, even, and I'm not just talking about gym owners, and especially in the fucking promotion game. That's why you see a lot of grand opening, grand closings. It's just like they have this idea, but they don't have, or they have a vision, but they don't have a fucking plan. So they just fucking are just like, all right, let's go do this shit. Everyone's gonna come. If we build it, they will come. And then, they came and your fucking gym was dirty and they went down the street and signed up at Autos.
I feel that sometimes, like the same way you feel like with some events, some promotions, like we feel like as a new a guy that just opened up the doors on the side, he's just like, like he's actually hurt. He's actually hurting jiu-jitsu when you open that way, right? Like people lose. Like if someone go and have a bad experience, they won't come back to jiu-jitsu anymore.
Yep.
You keep talking bad about jiu-jitsu. Same
Yeah.
thing with the promotions, right? You go to if me and my girlfriend will go to an event and the event is like crap, we're probably never gonna go to another one again.
Not just to not that event. You're probably not going to go to any jiu-jitsu
event, yeah.
because you're not going to understand the difference between them.
Exactly.
That's why there's very few promotions in the United States that I work with. Like I work with Eddie Bravo a little bit, just bouncing ideas off each other and shit like that. And then, fuck, man. To be honest with you, that's pretty much the only jiu-jitsu promotion in the United States that I even talk to.
Because you guys running the DCC events now, right?
Yeah, well, I work for Mo Jassim. So I'm business partners with Mo Jassim, and Mo is the head event organizer for the ADCC Worlds. So I'm his business partner in ADCC Worlds, ADCC West Coast Trials, and ADCC Brazil Trials. The Northeast Trials are run by Tom DeBlast and Marco, and then Marco runs the other 4 trials. So I just work for Mo.
Okay. And then when is the big show you guys go and run the show?
ADCC Worlds is September 24th through 27th in Las Vegas, 2021.
No, like I think this was the biggest and I think the best show.
I lost your audio, bro.
You lost my audio? Can you hear me?
Nothing.
Can you hear me now? No?
I still can't hear you. Unless it's my ears. My cauliflower's not that bad, though.
Better? Maybe this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Chopped brisket, sliced brisket, turkey sausage, hot links, or chicken breast. I'm going to go sliced brisket, then you pick the next one. Chopped turkey, sausage, hot link, or chicken. I already picked brisket.
Oh, it's
Huh? Barbecue beans, mac and cheese.
Can you hear me now?
Extra butter, fuck yeah.
Can you hear me, Seth? Can you hear me?
Now it is.
Somebody that I know.
Can you hear me, Shay?
The exact same way he opened his business. He was a coach somewhere, not happy with how they were running it, so he opened his own. He doesn't have that many students, and now he's doing another business.
Yeah, it's like to me, it's just like
I was like, why don't you just focus?
The thing for me was like I came from a different fucking world than everybody else. So it's like everyone's like, "How were you as a successful?" It's like, because I ran a fucking Fortune 500 company. I was a vice president. I had fucking 40,000 employees that worked for me when I was 25 years old. I was a millionaire by the time I was a millionaire at 22. And I lost everything at 29.
Can you hear me, Seth?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear you, brother.
No? It's
I
great.
lost everything at 29 too because I invested all my money in real estate. And I
lost it?
I played the game in 2008 that everybody was playing.
So what happened?
The Big Short. You're familiar with that? Okay, so
you invested in before earning it?
yeah, I
I
invested.
thought you invested. I don't remember the years.
Can you hear me?
Still can't hear you, brother.
Great.
You want to try to? You want to? We can try to do this tomorrow if you want. I still can't hear you, bro.
No.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, so I bought an apartment complex, and then I bought, and then I bought 8 houses. And what I would do is I'd wait 3 months, and then I would pull the equity out of one, and then I would roll into the other. And then when the interest rates hit, the payments went up by like $13,000 a month. And so like I ate it for like 2 months, and then like I try to figure it out. And then the housing.
Is your volume?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can we do it tomorrow? Oh, actually.
And yeah, so I had like 4 million in real estate, and the value went down to like 2.25.
And you could have just sold out.
What's that?
You weren't able to just.
I did for 6 months. 6 months of eating 18,000 a month fucking crushed me, because I wasn't able to pull the money out of the houses anymore, because all my money was in the properties. Does that make sense? So if I bought this property, and then I have $40,000 in equity in property 1, I'm gonna pull that equity out and I'm gonna put it in property 6, right? Property 2, 6 months later, pull that one out. Property 7, property 8, property 9, and we're just like boom, 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 boom. And like in the beginning, it was like I was fucking making crazy money, and then it just fucking. But I was like living way above my means, dude. Like I had like a